Hi, my name is Anne-Marie Custel. I'm a coach for hairstylists that wants to grow their business behind the chair without feeling overwhelmed or working longer hours behind the chair. I have over 20 years of experience working behind the chair, earning over six figures. If you wish to make more money without working longer hours behind the chair and bring in spiritual and sustainable principles into your business and life, then you are in the right place. In this podcast, I will mix business strategies, marketing tips, personal development, spiritual practices, and sustainable ways of living and working. Welcome to the Sustainable Hairstylist Podcast. Welcome to today's podcast. Today I'm going to talk all about why sustainable principles will grow your business as a hairstylist. You can probably implement this in any type of business that you might have. But me, as a hairstylist, as a hair extension specialist, I want to share a little bit about my journey and also why it is so important to start to do this and take responsibility of what we're doing for ourselves, for the environment, and our clients, and our family, and so on. Some of you that maybe have heard my story, some of you might be new to this podcast, but so I've been working as a hairstylist for over 22 years. And today I'm working mostly with just hair extensions and teaching. But in my early days, I was working a lot as a regular hairstylist. I was working a lot with chemicals, hair dye, and so on. But I think it was maybe 5 years into my hairstyling journey, working in a salon and so on, that I started to have issues coming up. My allergies were going worse and worse and worse. And my asthma became harder and harder, even if usually the things that I'm allergic to wasn't even in close to anything where I was at. I was starting to become more tired. I then didn't realize the impact of all the chemicals that were in the salon, the chemicals that I was working with, was actually having an impact on my body. By just standing and breathing the air in the salon, it had an impact on me. I started to have swollen hands. I started to have rashes all over my hands. My asthma was blossoming. I couldn't breathe. I had troubles breathing. I had many different things that was happening. I started to have headaches, and overall, I was very tired. And overall, I was very, like, I've been working too much, like I was putting too much strain on my body. And it came to a point where I was like, should I continue working as a hairdresser? Should I not? What should I do? What path should I take? What should I do? Because if I continue to work in this way, it will not work out for me. And when I was at this tipping point, I was actually working in a salon together with other people. So the first step that I took, because it was a very toxic environment with the people and the chemicals, I decided to actually get my first suite. I bought my own salon and started to see what a big difference it was when I was maybe coloring a client one time every other day, because I was mostly making locks and hair extensions at that point. So I saw that when I could control my own environment, what happened? Well, a little bit of all the issues that I was having in my body started to change. And the years passed, and I also could see that when I was having too much stress, when I wasn't eating well, um, when I was doing too much crazy stuff with my own hair, when I was using too many chemicals overall on my body, I got sick. Then it flared up even more. Um, and it started to become a balance. And I started to noticing some things. And at one point, I actually realized that maybe I have to let go of the hair coloring services. Maybe I have to let go of the perms. Maybe I have to just scale that off and see what happens with my body. So it was 7 years ago, I actually said goodbye to all the clients that actually came to me to get their hair colored, only haircuts and so on. And I decided to become mostly specialized in locks and hair extensions. And when I'm talking about hair extensions, I'm only working with hair extensions with the Serene Flow method, either the wave or the singular one. And there is no glue, there's no tape, there's no chemicals involved. The only thing I'm working with is attaching the hair with a synthetic fiber string. So I removed all of that and decided to like rebrand and not letting any kind of clients that wants to have their chemicals on their hair come to me. And I actually realized that for one thing, becoming specialized actually grew my business a lot. And also removing all the toxins out of my environment also was something that my clients reacted on. Because the smells in a hairstyling salon are a lot. And when you come into a space salon and you expect that smell, it becomes different. I saw things in my body changing over time. The more I scaled off of the chemicals, the better I started to feel. The more impact it actually had on my body. At the time I did this to feel better. I did this to actually maybe be able to continue to be in this business and not needing to stop and do something totally otherwise, like something brand new and quit the beauty industry. And it actually has taken me on a journey of looking at, okay, how can I live in a more sustainable way? How can I take responsibility for everything, the impact that I am doing? How can I actually communicate this with my clients? And how can I start to impact others around me? And I'm brought up in Sweden. And from an early age, we learn to recycle. Sweden has been really in the front of recycling everything, and it's something that we are taught at an early age. So from an early age, I've been recycling. I've been going to the garbage room and sorting out my garbage and taking care of all of that. So that has been something that been with me for a long time. And something that I also have had in my back of my mind for a super, super long time is when I am at a crossroad of actually wanting to purchase something, do I really need the thing that I think I need? And starting to make more conscious decisions on what it is that I'm buying, the things that I'm consuming, who has produced the things, how are they being produced, who is behind it, what kind of values and sustainable principles does the companies have that I actually buy stuff from, and start to think from that point of view. And this has grown also inside of me, bigger and bigger and bigger. And I can tell you a story that happened just a few days ago where me and my husband actually cleaned out our storage room that we have in the apartment building that we are living in. And we had a lot of old stuff that we've been carrying around. We decided, because we are moving soon, that maybe it was time to actually check what is in all of these boxes. Is there anything that we can say goodbye to and say thank you for being in our lives, but no thank you? And we started to sort through the whole storage unit and repacked everything and decided that we wanted to give away this to a thrift store or to people in need. And the sad part here is that most of the stuff was things that no one wanted. It was old toys, old cassette tapes, old newspapers, clothing, etc. And sad part is that the thrift stores here in Stockholm didn't want to take it. So we had to go to recycling center that we have a little bit outside of the city, and actually caused some real disgust when we came there for both of us, for both of me and my husband, because the amount of stuff that people were throwing away was shocking to me. It actually made me sick to my stomach when I actually saw what kind of stuff people were throwing away. I think the thing that I want to talk about a little bit here is a lot of people are buying stuff to fill the void within themselves, to feel something else, to think that if I have that, I will be more happy. Or if I have that clothing item, then I will feel fulfilled. And the amount of stuff that we actually use is not that much. And I've been very inspired by Marie Kondo. I just love her approach from everything that you have around you should spark joy. And that is the thing that I'm really, really living by, that nowadays the things that I have around me is things that when I see it, it lifts my heart. It really is something that is happening within me. And if I have the urge, I love clothing, don't buy a lot. But the thing, when I actually see something that is something that I really need, that is something that just will spark a lot of joy, the question I ask myself then is, do I really need to have it? Will this fit into all the other stuff that I have in my closet? Or maybe I can just take a step back and don't buy it at this very moment. The thing to actually point out here is put a pause between taking action. It's super easy to buy stuff nowadays, and we are bombarded with consistently stuff being thrown in advertisement. We see stuff on social media, we see stuff on TV. We are bombarded at all times with things because we are living in a society where consuming consistently is the way of living, and no one is questioning why. And we also have to think of what is actually all this stuff. What is it creating? Is your stuff taking energy from you? Then we can move to your salon business, because I see that how you approach things in life will also impact the way that you approach things in your business. Just because you're one type of person at home, you will be the same type of person at work. So if you are a person that maybe saves a lot of things, maybe you have tools, products, colors, and so on that you haven't used for a very, very long time. Maybe now is actually time to look at what is it that you have in your salon, and why we should start to look at what kind of chemicals actually is in the products that we are using, because there is a lot of chemicals in the products that are used in hair salons, hair color, perms, in shampoos, in hairsprays. Like everything that we're using has a chemical combination, and some chemical combinations are not really healthy for us as human beings. And worst case scenario, some chemical combinations actually can cause cancer, and it can cause other issues in our bodies. The more we can take away the dangerous chemicals in our salons, the better. Because then you are more safe, your clients are more safe, and you will be able to work in a more safe, healthy environment. And I promise you, taking action on this will actually be something that is good for you as a human being. You will start to see differences happening within your body, and I see that as well. There are many different brands. I'm not going to list any of them in this podcast episode. There are many brands that are working in a more healthy way, that are all natural. You can still do everything that your clients expect you to do, but you are safe using these products. And that's what I want to inspire you to start to do. Start to look and see what other options are out there in the industry, and actually start to talk about this with your clients. How will they react if you will start to work more towards running your salon in a more sustainable green way? Maybe they are scared that you cannot do the same hair color anymore. Just get the proper training to be able to do that, because you don't have to take a step back and say no to everything. I had to do that because with the hair colors, my allergies were so big that I didn't dare to continue because I didn't want to get more sick. Nowadays, I actually feel when I go into a regular hair salon that is using regular hair color for hairstylists, my asthma flares up, and I start to become a bit tired in my head. And that is what the chemicals are doing to me. If I go into a salon where they're not using the harsh chemicals, they're using something that is more sustainable, that are plant-based, then I don't have a reaction. So that is just a food of thought for you, because this will become the thing that people are demanding from us as hairstylists. And I know a lot of things is happening in the industry. With the economy, prices are going up. There are things that are implementing, things that are happening in our businesses. Now could be the perfect time for you to actually make a shift and actually show that you care about the health of your clients. You care about the impact of what it is that you're putting on their head actually has an impact. And trust me, your clients will be so happy because they probably haven't even thought about this. They probably haven't even understand that this can be an issue. And it is you as the hairstylist that actually should need to get the knowledge and the awareness of this and start to take action on this. So when I'm talking about sustainability, I'm talking about starting to look at what kind of products are you using in the salon, what kind of chemicals is it in them, what kind of containers are the brands using. The less plastic we can have in our environment, the better, because plastic can be reused, yes, but there comes to a point where plastic cannot be reused anymore, and that can turn into microplastic that actually is going out into our waters. They're polluting the world, and it's creating an impact on the whole food chain. It's not healthy at all to expose ourselves towards this. I know microplastic is out there everywhere in the world, and the only thing you as a being can do is to actually start to take action and start to say no. Other things that you can start to think of when it comes to sustainable things in your salon is to look at what kind of complementary things are you offering for your clients. One thing you can start to do is, if you're offering water bottles, maybe stop to do that and see how can you use a water filter and start to offer glasses with water for your clients. The glasses can be cleaned. Maybe you need to do some more dishes, but that's better than actually buying plastic bottles and giving that to your clients. When it comes to coffee and tea, what kind of coffee and tea are you using? Are you using organic, eco-friendly, sustainable things there? The products that you're using. Always, depending on where you are in the world, look at the coffee that you're buying, the tea that you're buying, if you're offering any kind of cookies and so on. How are they being produced? Where is it coming from? And is there a more sustainable offer out there? It is not that more expensive. Nowadays, you can buy eco-friendly coffee, tea, cookies and so on, and it's not that more expensive. You just have to start to be aware of what kind of brands can I offer. Something that I want to point out is a lot of hairdressing salons are using these coffee capsules and offering this to your clients. Think about the amount of waste that machine is creating. Is there a more sustainable option where you're not producing waste all the time? Something to think of. You can still offer an amazing, more sustainable experience with the client's coffee, but when it comes to looking at what kind of waste are we producing, can we find a more natural way that's not packed together and creating so much crap? Another thing to start to think of, how are you sorting your garbage? I know there is a lot of different companies all over the world that are actually taking care of the waste. If you're using hair colors, you're sorting that in one bin, your plastics, your foils, and all of that. And some companies are even collecting hair as well, and the hair is used in different ways when you are taking care of oil spills and so on. So there is a lot of different ways, a lot of approaches that we can actually take to implement more sustainable choices into the beauty industry and start to live from this. Other things that you can start to look at is, what kind of light bulbs are you using? Are you using light bulbs that are LED that will save your energy? What kind of energy are you using in the salon? The type of energy that you're using can come from natural sources. And when you are looking at the company that you are buying energy from, look at what kind of things, like where does that energy come from, and start to ask these questions, because that again is making an impact, because we are making more conscious choices, and the more conscious choices of living in a more sustainable way will actually become more popularized, which will lower the prices, and it will become a way of living. And the more it can become a more way of living, it will actually change people's actions and beings. And even from the beginning, if you start to make all of these implements into your business, you might look at, okay, what will this cost me? Like, how can this actually grow my business? People are demanding more sustainable choices and eco-friendly choices. People are looking for a more clean environment. They are looking for more sustainable businesses. And this will be the new trend, the new thing that is actually coming in the world. If you are starting to implement these changes in your business already today, then you will be at the forefront. You will start to look at and live in this way, and you are actually making an impact. This is huge. You will be there having to make these implementations into your business, into your life already from the beginning. Already now, you will already be ready when more and more people are demanding this. And when people more and more are demanding this, then it will be, you will be already ready for that. This is also something you can talk about on social media. We can also look at what kind of cleaning supplies are you using. Is there a more natural way of cleaning your salon? I've implemented these strategies. I've learned the old way of cleaning without harsh chemicals. It also has an impact on what I'm absorbing with my body every single day. And it actually has also made an impact in a good way. I truly believe that we are in a tipping point in the world. A lot of things are happening in the world. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want it to become like this boohoo, everything is going to crap on Marie episode. I will actually want you to see that the impact you do every day, the more conscious choices, the more you can take a stand for a more natural way of working in a hair salon, a more natural way of living, and a more holistic lifestyle. It will actually not only create change for you, it will create change for your family. If you have children, you will actually bring them up with this way of living. You will actually show them that the choices that we make, how we are taking care of our trash, the type of chemicals that you're having in your life on a daily basis actually matters. It actually matters what choices that you make. Other things you can think of is actually looking at, okay, what kind of food are you eating? Are you eating a lot of fast food? Maybe that's not the best impact on your body. Maybe trying to eat in a more clean, healthy way will actually bring you more energy, because what we're feeding into our bodies actually matters as well. Can you buy more eco-friendly food when you need to buy stuff? Can you actually try to think of what kind of sustainable values and ideas does different companies have, so that we actually, when we are using our money, we're actually also helping businesses grow. And if you want to see a change in the world, start asking for more sustainable choices and actually show with your money what it is that you want to grow in the world. And in this way, it's so important that we make these choices. Start working in a more sustainable way in your salon is nothing that you do overnight. It starts with implementing a seed within yourself. It starts with a wish of actually wanting to create change. It starts with actually thinking before acting. Thinking, is there a more sustainable choice that I can make? And start to act on that. Start to have this as a way of being. Because even if you think that, well, if I start to do this, then it will not create an impact. But I promise you, if you start to live by this, if you start to be this kind of person, it will create a ripple effect around you that will cause a ripple effect on other people, because the more we all can take responsibility of every single choice that we're doing. And I know you have clicked on this episode because you're intrigued. You are called to this, and you can start to take action today. I highly recommend that you join our free Facebook group that we created called the Sustainable Hairstylist. I am going to go in there and put some posts there that actually can show you some different brands of hair color and hair products that are safe to use, that has sustainability in their core, and they are doing products that are in a different way comparing to what other brands are doing. And I will also list some different chemicals for you that you should be on the lookout, because learning everything really deep down, it takes a little bit of time. And if you feel that you want to learn even more about this, I also teach a lot of these things inside of my flagship program, where I actually teach my non-toxic hair extension methods, the Serene Flow Wave method and the Serene Flow Single method, that is a totally chemically free way of attaching hair extensions. There's no glue, there's no tape, there's no wax. It's an all natural way that is being demanded more and more all over the world. So my last things that I want to say to you is, don't become overwhelmed. Start to think before you act, and start to see, is this something that I feel is calling within me? And see, what can I implement today? And start to make a plan. I am not the person to say that you need to throw everything out and start from scratch. I think we should use stuff until they're finished, and then we can make a new choice. So start to do that. And I hope that this has inspired you to start to think and live from a new perspective, start to think and live from a new way. If you feel that you want to have more of this content, please let me know. I will love to go into details on what you can actually do. But starting to use these practices will be something that will make you money in the long run. You won't see it like that, but it will have a change, and you will start to attract people that are willing to pay a little bit more because you are working and living from this way. And you will start to see a ripple effect on those type of clients that has the same values as you. But you have to start to talk about it on social as well, and on your website, so that people actually know that you're doing this. So I want to say thank you for today. I love to hear your biggest aha moments. Let me know. Send me a DM on Instagram, or post it in our Facebook group, The Sustainable Hairstylist. I want to send you lots of love, and remember to think before you make choices. Lots of love to you. Bye. Wow, thank you for staying at the very end of this episode. If you felt that this episode gave you any value, please share it with a friend that might need to hear this message at this very moment. If you had a huge aha moment, I would love to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram. You can find me at sereneflow_. And I would love to hear what your big aha moment was. If you want to help us grow this podcast, I would love for you to go on iTunes and find the Sustainable Hairstylist podcast and put in a review. That will help us reach more people with this podcast, so that we can together change the world. Sending you lots and love and peace. Enjoy your day. See you next week. Bye bye.